Hi there guys, Shannon, Princess Wrestling here again, and today is my Raw 1000th episode review video. Well, it's mainly my thoughts on everything that's happening. I did enjoy the show, and I know I'm a bit late filming this, but I really did enjoy the show, and I've just got a few wee points that I just want to express my opinion on. The start of the show, DX reunion, loved it, absolutely loved it. Especially when Triple H and Shawn came out, because, with the new custom t-shirts, and for some reason Shawn didn't have his hat. Don't know why. Shawn always had his hat, and he didn't have his chaps on. And then when they motioned for Billy Gunn, X-Pac and Road Dogg to come down, part of me was screaming inside for Chyna. But she wasn't there. I know why she wasn't there. Because of the whole Triple H and Steph and sacked from the company because she found out they were having an affair and then they got married and blah blah blah, and we all know the storyline from there. It would have been great to see her. She was an integral part of DX before the other three were there. The little skit was great. It was just when Damien Sandown, whoever the fuck he is, and people who watch my videos will know I don't watch SmackDown, and the guy was just asking for that super kick and a pedigree. But it was just brilliant to see Billy, and then you got the New Age Outlaws. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I love that. New Age Outlaws are one of my favourite tag teams, apart from the Hardys. They're one of my favourite tag teams, and everyone knows this. But yeah, it was a good sort of little skit. I mean, yeah, Billy Gunn looks fat. I wouldn't call him Mr. Ass anymore. Call him Mr. Fat Ass, but then I'm no one to talk. But Road Dogg has no dreads anymore, but I can understand why, because most of his hairs fell out. And Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Oh dear God, you can tell the damage the drugs have done to him. We all knew what he looked like from when he was in his TNA, the pack coming back. We all knew that he wasn't, how do we say, looking fighting fit, shall we say. But for that whole sort of 10-15 minutes, it was brilliant. It was great to have them back, crotch chopping, and it was good. It was good to see them all back. I mean, Hunter we see on a regular basis. Shawn, he pops in and out, but to have all of them back, even though I know that Road Dogg and Billy Gunn don't get on anymore, they didn't get on when they were in TNA, and they both left, but it was good to see them. It was good to see them. It really was. I did enjoy it. It gave me sort of a little Attitude Era pop, and yeah, that's what I expected from the Raw 1000. Lots of Attitude Era pops, and there is more. I'll talk about them all. The Rock's announcement, he had to interrupt, obviously. Pardon me, CM Punk. Rock's announcement that he will face the WWE Champion, whoever it may be, at Royal Rumble for the title. Why does this man need to win the title again? Don't get me wrong, I love The Rock, I really do. But does The Rock need to be fighting for the title? He doesn't need to be fighting for the title. What happens if he wins? Is he going to stay around for a while? Is he going to get the title and just never show up and come back every 6 months to defend it? Or it wouldn't make any sense to put the title on The Rock. And I'm sure as we get closer to Royal Rumble and we find out who his opponent is, whether it be John Cena, Big Show, CM Punk, hopefully it's Punk, but getting to that, I really don't know. I really don't understand why they've given him a title shot, especially one that they've announced 6 months in advance. Yes, I know they announced the match with Cena at WrestleMania a year in advance, but that's WrestleMania, and we all knew that it would happen eventually, because Cena and Rock, we all knew that would happen eventually, but he doesn't really need to be on the bill at fucking Royal Rumble. He really doesn't. We have the Dead Man's Return Finally, The Undertaker has been seen. Finally, he's been seen again since WrestleMania. But we all know why, because he's old and he's injured. He's still the fucking dead man, and we all still love him. But yeah, Kane came down to the ring, and for some reason, like Hawkins and Ryder and Drew McIntyre and a whole load of other jobbers that weren't on the bill for Raw 1000 or weren't meant to be on the bill, all came down to attack Kane. All of a sudden, boom, lights down, crowd goes fucking nuts. If I was there, I would have went nuts as well. As soon as you hear that, you know Taker's coming. Took his time getting down to the ring, like he always does, and they cleaned house. Then they pose right at the end, Taker on his knee, Kane up, does the flames. Brilliant. They had to have him on the 1000th Raw. He's been there for like coming up for 20 years. Actually, no. Yes, it's more than 20 years. But he's been there for like 2 decades. So he had to be on the 1000th Raw. I've also heard a little rumour that Kane is going to be coming out of in-ring competition and taking a more backstage role. I don't know where I read this. I think it was on WrestlingRevealed.com. I was just flicking through, and yeah, I'm sure I read that on there. So you'll join the ranks of sort of Arn Anderson and Dean Malenko, stuff like that. Join the ranks of them working on a more backstage role, and I'm sure he'd quite enjoy it. I think he would, but I'm sure he'd miss the in-ring competition eventually. We had another Heath Slater versus Legends match. He issued an open challenge. Apparently he was getting pissed off that he'd been getting run over by Legends, and the only person he beat was Doink the Clown, and then DDP. Yeah, we all know what happened after that. And to answer his open challenge, Lita comes down. Again, great pop when her music hit. I love Lita. I do. I love her to bits. And so he kind of was, okay, darling, I'll take on your challenge. As soon as the bell rings, she grabs the mic and she announces that she's hired herself a little protection. On comes the APA music. Bradshaw and Farouk, yes, they come down. John Bradshaw Layfield and Ron Simmons come rushing down to the ring, like you do. Who's not going to pop for the Acolytes? Brilliant stable, the Acolyte Protection Agency. Absolutely loved it. I loved their sort of Attitude Era skits as well. I remember the beer and the drinking with Funaki. Brilliant. So they brought them back, and Heath Slater hightailed it out of the ring. So he's walking up the ramp to get away, and all of a sudden you hear, oh, what a rush. Obviously I can't do the animal voice, can't do it. And all the legends, including Animal, all the legends he's beat, well, he's fought over the last like couple of months, all came out, sort of Rikishi, Roddy Piper, DDP, Doink, Hacksaw Jim Duggan was there as well for some strange reason, but they all came down as in to block the ramp, so he had to go down to the ring. So, not realising it, runs into the ring, he gets a twist of fate from Lita, and then Bradshaw delivers the clothesline from hell, and it's the best one yet. But you have to honestly look it up on YouTube. It is hilarious. Oh, Heath Slater, he just clotheslines him, but then ends up upside down on his head, doing like a headstand, and then falls over, and Bradshaw himself starts pissing and laughing and thinks it's great. So they roll him into the corner. Lita does her moonsault, her patented moonsault that only she can do. Counts the 1, 2, 3. All the legends come in the ring and they're all congratulating each other, and King's going nuts on the announce table. And it's just when Heath Slater's on the floor, and it's the one word you're waiting for Ron Simmons to say, and he says it, and it's brilliant. I love it when he does that. The damn! I love it, it's brilliant. I know to pop for one word, but yeah, the whole crowd went with him, and it was a great moment. It's good to see them all back, especially Rikishi. when he previous week when he danced with his two boys, pardon me, to the Too Cool music, Jimmy and Jay. So that was brilliant. I loved that. I do have a wee soft spot in my heart for the Attitude Era, and it's brilliant. Then we come to the wedding of AJ and Daniel Bryan. Biggest lot of shit ever. They have Slick being the priest, or the whatever you want to call him, master of ceremonies. But I don't even really remember Slick now. I watched wrestling for a long time, but I don't remember Slick for some reason. Blocked out my mind, maybe before my time. So yeah, he comes down, they're exchanging their vows, blah blah blah, and she says yes when they ask him, you know, do you take this woman, do you take this man, blah blah. And she turns around and says, I wasn't saying yes to Daniel. Next minute, Vince McMahon comes out. Not just to tell us to say that he's offered AJ the Raw General Manager position. And Bryan went nuts. Started smashing up the whole wedding set, and no. Then once they come back from the break, he's still in the ring. He's going berserk. Punk comes down and has to, poke fun, because he does, old goat face. And for some reason, Daniel Bryan was screaming that he is the greatest wrestler ever, blah, 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 blah. Then The Rock comes up. I know I've put The Rock announcement before this, but I actually forgot about this part. And so The Rock comes down and is calling him this, that, you not, and, the whole Rock shebang, and then he makes his announcement. I got that the wrong way around. But yeah, it was good for what it was, but it wasn't all that, if you know what I mean. The next, the last little note that I've got to put on was with the confrontation between Triple H and Brock Lesnar. Triple H goes up to the ring to call up Brock Lesnar out, because he knows he's in the building, to get his answer about the match at SummerSlam. So Paul Heyman comes down, resoundingly says no, tries to goad Paul Heyman and tries to goad him, and then Paul Heyman starts talking about Triple H's kids. Triple H goes nuts, and then Stephanie comes down. Good to see Steph. I do miss Steph, Daddy's little princess. We all love Stephanie McMahon. And she comes down and she's, you're a failed businessman. This is the reason ECW went under, and WCW, blah, 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 blah. And she slaps Lesnar. Not Lesnar, Paul Heyman. She slaps Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar comes out. So obviously Triple H is ushering Steph out the ring, and the two of them just go at it. They just have at it completely. Triple H does get the upper hand and throws Brock Lesnar out the ring, rips off the t-shirt, does the whole peck thing, and is screaming and shouting, and Brock Lesnar walked away like the coward that he is. If you guys want to let me know your thoughts on Raw 1000, if is there bits that you wish they'd put in, bits that you didn't like, you did like, your thoughts on any of the points I've made, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll try and respond personally, but we'll see how we go with that. Don't forget to subscribe up above and like this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.